This is magic. Typical market mayhem. Now this is where the dog meat is. This is our entrance. There's a lot of fish, snake, frog, all kinds of stuff. But often you see the dog. It's very sad. I've eaten it. It's different down here. You can't pass judgment on these people. They went very hungry. But there is a stigma, so it's working. It's turning out to be uncool. Of course, the Vietnamese and the Koreans eat it, and that's the sad thing, is that people's dogs get snatched in the middle of the night, and they throw a they throw a slip knot over the dog's neck, and they drag it. And it's very, very sad. Anut has lost all her dogs, thus no more dogs. But to lighten up a bit, this is wonderful market mayhem. It's 9 o'clock. That's when this place really goes off. Really, really fun. You can get everything and anything under the sun here. We just go for noodle soup. And I put way too much dried, cooked chilies in my mouth is just burning like a bastard. That's why I might sound funny, plus I've got a mask on. Anyway, just wonderful, wonderful. Cheek by jowl. The action that goes on. There's a little bit of a spike in the COVID that's been community transmitted. The first, we're at about 300 and change now, 220 or 30 or so. So there's talk of emergency measures and all that, but they don't want to kill the economy even more. The economy is way, way down. The consumer, look at this beautiful angel. Consumer spending is way, way down. That's reflected in our massage girls business. And we're hoping to get out of the woods. I guess now London's got a vaccine. They're starting. We're suckholding, of course, to China and Russia to get their vaccines. Possibly about 1 million. So 500,000 people can get dosed. The population's 16.5 million, but no deaths. But you can see quite a few people are wearing masks. We wear them really just because of the dust on the motos, as do, I'm sure, about 15% of these people. But some people are a little bit scared. But it's a non-issue down here. But there's this first community transmitted gig because the general director of prison's wife took it upon herself not to quarantine after coming back from America, and went to a mall and shopping and spa treatments and all that what wealthy generals' wives do. And thus it was transmitted to their kids. Their kids went to school. Now the schools are shut. It's very, very sad. So many, many things in the country have been shut because of the arrogance of the aristocracy here. Very, very shitty. Anyway, all is well. And you can't believe the construction everywhere. And nobody has any money because they're all in debt to the tune of $3,800 per person to microfinance. It's happened since 2012. But still, there's construction everywhere, and it's not all Chinese in here. I mean, that's another reason why I came here. A big reason why I came here. This is Battambang. It was, when I came 3 years ago, the second largest city in the country, but it's probably not now. It's probably was eclipsed by Sihanoukville, which the Chinese just took over. They were granted umpteen gazillion casino licenses. I think there was 7 casinos when I first came here 4 or 5 years ago, and now there's 100. But they've since sort of slowed down that a bit. But they really are putting all their eggs in the Chinese basket, which is a bummer, a real bummer. China and Korea are trying to block that. The Americans have dug their grave with the previous administration. We'll see what goes on with the next. But as soon as you say human rights down here, the government clamps up. So things change. And as you're probably aware, China doesn't give a shit about human rights. They're just in it for the bottom line, which has its merits. But we're the largest beneficiary of Chinese Belt and Road and infrastructure money and all that. So we're booming. But there's Chinese Khmer that they're born and raised here, but of Chinese extraction blood. Miss Fabulous is in there somewhere. She's trying to buy more fish. I say fish. They're like the size of your little finger. It's a riot. Being a former commercial fisherman and diver in the west coast of Canada, out of Victoria and Vancouver and Ucluelet, You know, a fish is a fish. They're whales compared to these sons of bitches. But they're tasty for some extent. They're not salt water. The squid is good, because the squid's the real deal, but everything else is farmed in Vietnam. The prawns suck. But, so she's buying that, and they, like our native Indians back home, they split them, salt them, and dry them. And they're not bad, because the way you brine them. She does palm sugar and fish sauce and a lot of salt. Oh, excuse me, and then you rinse them. So here's mayhem. These guys should not be coming down here in cars. It's ridiculous. So then there'll be a block. A woman driver driving the camera here chokes everything up. But there's never horns, there's never honking, there's never any road rage. It's absolutely beautiful. These people are so well mannered. They'll give you the shirt off their back. You know, they're starving, and yet they share. Yamba, 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 you know, eat rice, eat rice. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, I'm starting to get boring, so we'll sign off until the next time. But this is the Central Market where it goes off.